Hi and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Now today's video, I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me maybe around 16, 17 years ago. It's quite a long time ago. Now for a long time I lived in London, and when I first moved to London in the late 90s and through all the early noughties, the heavy metal scene in London was amazing, and I'll do another video about that, all the places that are no longer there and stuff. I'll do another video about that sometime. But anyway, I was on a night out in one of these places called the Crowbar, which recently sadly has announced that it's shutting down, which sucks really, because it was a really good bar. Anyway, anyone who's ever been in the Crowbar will know it was a tiny bar, and it used to get absolutely rammed in this place. I mean, you know, chock-a-block wall to wall, you couldn't move in there. So you had to get there, if you wanted a seat, you generally had to get there quite early on a weekend to try and get one. And I'd met some friends in there fairly early on, so we'd actually got a table. Now as the place filled up, we're having drinks and, you know, just having fun and having a good night out. And I noticed that there's these guys that are stood at the other end of the room by the door where you actually went downstairs to the toilets in there, which was a grim place to be, trust me, but, you know, they were stood near this door. And they kept throwing the sign of the horns at me and thumbs up and all this. I'm thinking, this is a bit odd. And anyway, I was trying to ignore it. But it kept going on, and eventually I had to go to the loo, obviously, and I had to walk past these guys. And, you know, every time over the evening, every time I, you know, had to go to the loo, they keep throwing the horns up at me and saying Ace of Spades and, you know, Overkill and all these various Motorhead songs. So I was thinking, this is a bit odd. And anyway, as the evening goes on, these guys stagger up to our table and ask me for an autograph, and I'm thinking, who the hell do these people think I am? So I sort of said to them, look, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not whoever you think I am. And this guy, I think there were two Spanish guys as well, so it was they could speak English and everything, but it wasn't, you know, perfect English, and they were drunk as hell as well. So this guy announces that he, you know, you're the guitar player from Motorhead. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. So this guy wouldn't accept that I wasn't the guitar player from Motorhead. So, and the more that I told him, look, I'm not who you think I am, the more he seemed to think I was this guy. And I don't know what guitar player from Motorhead he actually thought I was, because I don't think I look like any guitar player from Motorhead. I don't look like Wurzel or Eddie Clark or Phil Campbell, or, you know, so I mean, he must have been absolutely leathered, this guy. But anyway, he wasn't having it that I wasn't the guitar player from Motorhead. And it got to a point where I just thought, to get rid of this guy, I would just say, I am the guitar player from Motorhead, but, you know, and so I did that, and obviously now at this point, now he's absolutely convinced that I'm the guitar player from Motorhead, and starts talking about how cool he thinks it is that I didn't admit who I was, and I'm not, you know, sort of making something of my fame and all this kind of stuff. Thinking this is just crackers. So these guys sort of saunter off, and I think I've got rid of them. And then they come back to the table, loaded with drinks, and plant all these drinks on the table for us for free. So obviously now these guys have bought us drinks, I feel a bit obliged to talk to them. You know, these guys joined our table, and it just kept going on and on and on, that, you know, this guy was convinced that I was in Motorhead. And as the night went on, they wouldn't let me buy drinks. So consequently, every time I wanted a drink, they insisted on paying for it, and insisted on buying shots as well. So by the time I left this place, I was absolutely annihilated, and, you know, staggering off to I remember staggering to the bus stop for the famous N207 bus back to Ealing, which is where I lived. And as a result of that, I was so annihilated from these guys buying me drinks all night because they thought I was the guitar player from Motorhead, which I'm quite clearly not. I ended up having the bus driver shake me awake, and I was back in Trafalgar Square. So these guys got me so annihilated, I fell asleep on the bus, and I'd gone all the way out to Uxbridge, which is, for anyone who doesn't know London, it's, M25. So, I'd gone all the way to the edge of London, all the way back into London, with the bus driver waking me up saying, "Mate, I don't know where you're going, but you've gone all the way out of London and all the way back into London." And I'm thinking, oh my God, how the hell am I going to get home? And the bus driver took such pity on me, the state I was in, after being plied with all this alcohol, that he drove me to my house. So crazy story that happened, a true story. So the guys that, I can't remember your names, but if you ever watch this video, I'm not the guitar player from Motorhead, but thanks for all the free alcohol, and also thanks to the bus driver that took pity on me and got me home that night. So, just one of those crazy stories that happens that I thought I'd share with you. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as I said, I'm trying to grow this channel. As I said in the previous video, I'd like to get people involved in this channel. So if there's any sort of subjects out there people want me to talk about, or anyone who's met me before or anything who's got any interesting stories that maybe I'm involved in that they can refresh me of and I'll talk about, hit me up, that's great. But for now, you've been watching Arno TV. I want everyone to take care of themselves out there, stay rock and roll, and make sure you stay safe.